Hey, chicks, let's chat. So listen, let me just say this right quick. Hopefully, at some point in life, we all reach a space where we understand that everything is just simply not for everybody. Everything, everyone, whatever tag I could put on it, whether it's every outfit, every church, every career, every car, every this, every that. I could put any title or tag on it and it still comes down to the same thing. Everything is not for everybody. And we really have to be okay with that. Like, it's okay if this person does not choose you. Whether it's as a friend, whether it's as a best friend, whether it's as, your work best person, whatever it is, it's okay. You just are not going to be for everybody. And that is like sometimes the best thing that can happen to you is that you weren't their pick. Is that you are not for them. Sometimes you are so exceptional that they can't reach a high enough height to be comfortable in your space. And that's real hard for a person or some people to grasp because it almost can seem like you are, feeling like, you're better than, or that, you're so super this or so super that. But that's really not the case. Sometimes the reality is just that a person just does not measure up to where you are. And you don't even have to be so upper echelon. Sometimes a person just cannot talk to you and cannot articulate their thoughts and their feelings and any other basic or general idea in a way that can translate into y'all having a decent conversation. Sometimes it just cannot happen like that. It just doesn't. Sometimes they, for whatever reason, they could be a wonderful person, but maybe they just lack the education or the intellect or the know-how or the desire to communicate with you on the level that you need communication on. It doesn't make them the worst person in the world. It just means that they may never be your pick. You may never be their pick. They may see ahead of time that talking with you and dealing with you is going to make them feel some kind of way. It's going to make them feel less than. It's going to always shine a light on the fact that they didn't graduate from high school or that they can't, speak a certain way or that they don't understand things in a certain way. And sometimes that will be the reason that you're not the pick. Not that you aren't good enough. Sometimes you may be too good. And I think that's very important for, us to really understand is that sometimes that's just the reality of it. But we'll take it to heart. A lot of times, women in particular, we can take it to heart when we did not get chosen because we always feel like it's because we were less than, right? It's something that just on the inside, it just makes us feel like I didn't get picked because I wasn't good enough. Even if it was a job interview, I must didn't speak right, or maybe the other person must have had more education than me. They must have had more experience than me. That's not always the case. Sometimes you're bringing more to the table than really what they need. You may be bringing more to the table than what they want to pay for. What you have says that you're going to have that supervisor's job. She don't want to pick you. You not the pick. Because she could see right now that if she pick you to come on board on the team, you absolutely possess everything that a good supervisor should possess, and you may come for her job. So no, you may not be picked for that position. not because you didn't have everything that it took. You had more than what that job required. So much more. So we have to really just understand that, baby, you will not be everybody pick sometimes, but do not let that play on your intellect, your ego, your self-esteem. You know, sometimes we really have to sit back and look at the big picture and say, you know what? Of course you didn't pick me. Of course you knew that I was not the type of person who was going to accept that foolishness from you. Of course you picked the person that you knew she was going to go for whatever. You knew she had low self-esteem when you picked her. You knew that she would put up with some things that I'm going to fight you tooth and nail about. Even if I stayed in the situation, it's going to always be an argument or a fight about that situation because I'm really not on that. I'm going to make you uncomfortable in that foolishness that you do. Right? So that's what we just have to, you know, think about the big picture sometimes. And it really and truly is not always. Sometimes the best thing that could happen to you is that you weren't friends with that person or that y'all friendship ended. Why? Because when you look back, what really did they do with that stuff that made you, you know, what have they done so good that you say, man, I really wish we would have still been friends. I sure wish we would have still been friends. What? You know, it is okay. You know, I feel like it's absolutely okay when y'all go different ways or you tread different paths in life. You know, the joy and the blessing is that y'all once crossed paths, that y'all once had whatever it was y'all had, whether it was a beautiful friendship, whether it was a beautiful relationship. The beauty in it is that you had the experience of that person, of, you know, whatever adventures y'all share, whatever secrets y'all share. You had the benefit of the experience. That's the beauty in that. Now, when time is up on that, we have to learn to be okay with that. When time is up and it's time for us to experience a new situation, maybe with a new person, maybe in a new town, maybe at a new job, maybe at a new school, at a new college, whatever it is. When the time is up with the old stuff and it's time to welcome in something new, then that's just what it's time to do. Just like, hey, the end of the year is approaching. No matter how good or bad 2024 was for us, guess what? It's ending. It's going to be over soon. So what choice do you have but to try to embrace what's coming up next? You don't have no choice but to try to embrace it and to hope and prepare and put in place measures that can make it be an even better situation than what 2024 was. Now, granted, it's always going to be things in life that come up that you can't control. That's going to happen every year in every situation of your life. There are going to be factors and dynamics that you cannot control, right? But the things that you can put in place that you can control, okay, you can do that. You can do that. And, you know, you be ready to embrace what's new, what's coming. And instead of being angry and sad about what was or what didn't happen, you learn to find the joy and the benefit of just ever even having the experience with that person. Take from it what you could take from it, even if it's just you could look back and say, boy, we used to laugh good, boy. That was my homegirl. We had a ball. We used to go out all the time. Da, 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 da. Whatever it is you could take from that situation, take that. Take the good. Leave the bad. Leave the anger. You don't have to take the anger and the resentment from those old relationships. I don't care what happened. I don't care what happened, because every situation probably has had some detrimental times. And it seemed like when situations start coming to the end, that's when y'all start, you know, saying some crazy stuff to each other, doing some crazy things to each other or whatever. Of course, those feelings, those emotions that are going sour, going bad, immaturity is at play, hurt feelings, all of that. So you start doing those things. But when you get beyond that, right, first of all, avoid that if you can. But when you get beyond it, then you should be able to look back and say, you know what? Even though it may have ended bad, I'm going to not live my life in regret. and being angry and upset about whatever it is that I think they did to me, whatever I thought I caught them up in. I'm not gonna live my life thinking about that, tripping off that every single day. Like, come on, you got it. You did that. You got that. Instead, I'm just going to be thankful for the experiences that we had or that we shared that were good. Because that's all I could take with me are the experiences that were good. I don't have enough room in my life to take all of the negative experiences with me and be able to, you know, look back on them and harp back on them all the time. No. I'm trying to fill my life with positivity. I'm trying to be able to, you know, stack up enough positive experiences that one day I can look back on everything and my whole life just look good, right? All the bad stuff, like, hey, yeah, it happened, but I ain't trying to just stack it in a pile and be able to just sit back and one day just look at that. No, I want to stack my life up with all the good things. Let my memory bank be filled up with all the great and wonderful experiences. When I look back on that, I say, oh, yeah, baby, we had a whole bunch of good times. Oh, but he the one who did X, Y, Z. Oh, yeah, he did do that, didn't he? Yeah, he did that. But all I care about and all I think about and all I took from that was the good stuff. Now, I learned my lesson and I went on. But as far as what I allow my memory bank to go back and replay, it's the good times, because I have no room in my life for all the negative stuff. I got my lesson. That hurt. I got that. I got that hurt and I got that lesson. I took it and I went on. But I refuse to let it dictate my life and keep me in a cycle of trauma. No. It's a reason that it happened. It's a reason that it didn't work out. That's good. I got it. And I'm moving on happily. So again, don't knock yourself for all the things that you feel like, hey, I should have been a pig. They looked over me. I'm never this, you know, I'm always being done. Like, don't feel like that. Don't feel like that. You know, just understand that sometimes you better off because you didn't get picked. You were too good for the situation. Or you didn't get picked because you were in line for the next best situation. You know what I'm saying? So try to look at the glass half full before you look at it half empty. That's what I'm going to leave you with. Enjoy your weekend, y'all.